Hey, I'm Jeremy Coker, Christian Craig's mechanic from Trolley Designs, Lucas Oil, Honda. You're watching Transworld Motocross's How-To presented by Bike Bandit. Today we're going to show you how to properly change the oil on a Honda CRF 250R. On the Honda you have two different oils. You have an engine oil and a transmission oil, which consists of two different draining points. Obviously you need a drain pan. On our bikes we run a skid plate, so we got to take the skid plate off first. Once you have the skid plate off, if you have a skid plate, both drain plugs are 12. The motor drain plug is directly underneath the engine towards the back, and the transmission side engine oil plug is actually directly underneath the shifter. Some people get confused, think that they're draining their engine oil when they're draining the one underneath the shifter, but that's actually the transmission. The way I start is by draining the engine oil first. I just loosen it and then I pull it out by hand and drain the engine oil. While the engine oil is draining, I go ahead and drain the transmission oil at the same time. While the two engine oils are draining, you want to go ahead and grab your oils and your oil filter. We run Lucas Oil transmission oil 80 weight and engine oil 10W40. Both Lucas Oil, very good oils. Also, we run an OEM Honda oil filter. Probably one of the best oil filters for Honda OEM. Obviously, you want to make sure that you get as much oil out as possible by tipping the bike each way. After your oil is drained, you can go ahead and put your oil plugs back in. I start with the transmission, so when I reach my hand underneath, I don't get oil on it. And I always feed the engine plug in with my hand first, just to make sure that it's not cross-threading or going in the wrong way. And you want to tighten your engine oil drain plug, just get it pretty tight. Honda oil filters, take an 8 T-handle, pull the cover off. Take a towel, kind of just wipe out the oil that's in there. Then grab your Honda oil filter. Rubber side goes onto your cap. Spring goes into the other side. Then reassemble it. Alright. Once all that's tight, if you have a skid plate, you can go ahead and throw your skid plate back on. When putting oil in your transmission, you do it on this side, which is the clutch side. Most people tend to put it through the filler cap up here, which is the proper way to do it, but the way we do it is we actually put it through here. The reason being is if you put it through up here, it takes longer for it to feed through the clutch, and when you check it on the plug, you may think that the oil is not enough in there, but there really is. So the point is we put it through here so it directly feeds into the transmission. You pull this cap off, and when you look in there, you can see the transmission. Take some Lucas Oil 80-85 weight oil and put it in. Same thing here applies to as the engine side. If you put in the exact CCC they call for, it may be too much oil. So when you're putting this oil in, you want to put it in just until it starts pouring out of this hole, which is right there. Once that's done, go ahead and put the cap back on. Once you've put oil in both sides, the smart thing to do is go ahead and start your bike, run it for a few minutes, turn it off, and recheck your oil levels. The oil levels tend to go lower once you run it, so run it, get it hot, recheck, and add oil if needed. That's how you properly change oil in a Honda CRF 250R. Thanks for watching Transworld Motocross's How To, presented by Bike Bandit.